Hi, everyone. This is going to be my first attempt at a podcast and just something that I've been wanting to do for a while. And I feel like everybody talk about wanting to do podcasts with their friends, in college when people are having deep talks with their friends and things like that. And I finally decided that I was going to do my own podcast because you know what? I just want to do it. And no script, no nothing. I'm just saying this off of the top of my head. And but I did take some notes on some things that I wanted to talk about today, which is related to looks, beauty privilege, and society, um, things like that. I just had a talk recently with someone that I know about kind of like life and why we feel stuck, why we kind of don't take actions that we want to take, even though we know that that's what we want. And I feel like we know, part of it stems from the fact that we're afraid of failing and we're afraid of like just kind of letting ourselves down, thinking that like, oh, like if I actually go do the things that I want to do and I don't succeed, then what's the point? But as you learn and grow, you kind of realize like it's not about quote unquote failing or succeeding. I mean, at least to me, it's more about the fact that, like, I gave it a try. Like, growing up, you hear people tell you, like, these cringe quotes, not really cringe, but like inspirational quotes that kind of seem a little silly, but they actually mean so much. And I got that from my best friend, my roommate. And, she was right because the more I grow up and the more I'm home and I realize, yeah, like, that's true. Like, these quotes, they're all true and they actually mean so much. And it's okay if you don't understand it now, but when you're growing up and when you're kind of just learning about yourself and how to navigate the world, you'll come to understand more of it. And it's all about being willing to work on yourself, self growth, and kind of pushing forward, right? So, like I said, the topic I really kind of wanted to touch upon today is about beauty standards and looks. Somehow came to the realization that, like, at least about me, I've always thought that looks were going to solve my problem. That as long as you look good and you're well dressed, like you're fashionable, you're pretty, you're skinny, and you go outside, like that can protect me from the world. Like my shield towards people criticizing me, people having to a say about me, who I am, and things like that. And the reason why I felt that way, I kind of feel like I don't exactly know why I feel that way, but I feel like probably it comes down to when I was growing up. Um, Ever since I was like a child, I haven't really felt accepted in any friend group, and I felt like an outcast a lot of the times. And I thought maybe it's because of the way I look. Like maybe like they don't like me because I'm ugly. I was like probably an ugly kid, and I was very insecure about a certain part of my body, and I thought that's why. And then moving forward to like middle school, high school years, puberty, I started growing acne, and that made me feel even more insecure about myself. And I just, even though I may present to some people that may know me a very extroverted like person, deep inside I felt very insecure. And not to say like I'm seeking male validation, but also the fact that like I haven't been hit on like a lot of like people would have stories about, things like that. So everything, like there was always like a reason for why I feel like I had to present myself the way I present. So I thought looks were always everything. They were number one. But then I had a conversation with someone I kind of knew, like I said yesterday, and I realized what I craved wasn't kind of validation based on my looks. It has always been about who I am as a person and my soul, like, and connections that I make with people. I've always said that I really want genuine connections with people, and I guess I kind of made the connection that, like I said, it's not looks, it's getting to know people. It's the connections that we make with people, and that's a very difficult thing to do, especially because the society I feel like doesn't push for genuine connections. They push for independence and they push us to, work so hard towards like the dream job, the dream this, the dream that, but like I guess for a lot of people, what we really do lack is a sense of community and being around people that uplift us to kind of push us to like seek what we want, right? Like, what is success without people there to support you and people, not just people, but also you supporting yourself, right? I feel like once you kind of feel love from a community, you also learn to love yourself. People tell me all the time like, no, you have to love yourself first before like other people could love you. That is true, but also you during those times where you are learning to love yourself, I feel like it's also important to kind of look towards the community as an example of how you can love yourself, right? Like, because I made a really, really great friend, she's taught me how to love myself. Like, because of her, I've learned a lot about myself as a person and how to better navigate the world around me as well. And what I may be saying is really hypocritical that, like, oh, looks aren't really everything because I still have a beauty filter on, I still put on some makeup. Like, yes, it's hypocritical, but I think it's a journey of self growth, right? You can't just all of a sudden make the change, like, oh, yeah, I come to a realization all of a sudden, like, I'm a whole different person. No, it starts from self awareness. And then after that, you take your time and you learn and you grow. And there's no checklist, there's no rule book on how to grow and how to change. It all starts kind of within, like I said, yourself and then taking soul steps. You don't even have to know what steps you're taking, but the fact that you become more aware of your flaws and things you want to change about yourself, like you unconsciously or subconsciously kind of take these steps, as you go. Like right now, I'm just telling you guys about my inner thoughts and things like that, but I honestly don't know where this conversation is going. I just think it's nice to talk to people because like that's what I do. I think I saw a TikToker yesterday also talking about how like she's a Gemini moon and she loves yapping and talking and like things like that. I was like, no, me too. Like I'm a Gemini moon and I love talking to people and talking to people is how I kind of figure out my own emotions and how I feel. And I was like, okay, I already do a lot of talking with my friends and with people that I know. Why not try a podcast? And like it might not be like as professional or like anything like that compared to other people, but like this is kind of how I learn and grow. Like this is not for other people. It's just for me to talk and learn about myself, but also like provide some kind of direction for other people that are also struggling to kind of not just struggling, but also wanting to grow and learn and change. And pretty much that's it for today. Yeah, like and subscribe. I also forgot to mention one thing. If you guys want to kind of hear more of this spiritual talk, self growth talk, and things like that, feel free to comment below and I'll, answer these questions and share some of my own anecdotes so you guys can kind of like, I guess, take a look into my life, but also reflect on yourself and your own lives as well. See ya!